guys, welcome to day 21 of PODMAS. We are 3 weeks in and I'm so excited. So excited. But before we get into today's topic, I just wanted, of course, to remind you to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. Rate 5 stars because you already know the deal. This is a 5-star podcast. You're a 5-star bitch. I'm a 5-star bitch. 5-star bitches stay together. All that jazz. Rating 5 stars brings me up in the algorithm so more 5-star bitches can find the podcast and get what they need from it. Secondly, make sure you review the podcast. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know how you're liking the podcast. Let me know if there's any topics you would like me to discuss or any guests you would like to hear from on this podcast. Thirdly, subscribe, because if you don't subscribe, then you're not going to be in the loop. And if you're not in the loop, then you're not down with the crew. And if you're not down with the crew, what are you doing? What are you doing? You want to make sure that you always are up to date with the episodes and when they drop. New full episodes will be starting on Monday, December 27th. So you want to make sure that you are down with the crew. No? Just me? I think you want to be down too. Lastly, if you want to stay up to date on everything Steffi Kiss and Ethan, make sure you follow me on Instagram _Steffi Kiss, STEPHYKISS. Follow me there. I post on stories damn near every day. I post Ethan damn near all the time, how he's getting on my nerves, how I'm getting on his nerves, how he be rolling his eyes at me, how he be giving me cuddles and kisses, just everything that has to do with our day-to-day lives. Okay, so now that that's out the way, let's talk about today's topic, communication. Learning how to communicate with a child on the spectrum can be a difficult task for sure. When you have spent your entire life communicating or expressing yourself verbally, it can be hard to transition to a new way of not only communicating, but thinking altogether. When Ethan was 2.5 and not speaking any words, I knew something was different. While his doctor or school refused to label him autistic, because at the time they were unable to formally do that until he was about 5 years old, I knew in my heart that he was. Not being able to have a dialogue with my kid or not knowing if he understood what I was saying was and is extremely challenging. Now that he is older, his comprehension has increased for sure, but I know it still takes time and patience to get my points across. Just recently, I've noticed Ethan has grasped the concept of mommy being sad. If you heard yesterday's episode, then you know that I recently moved from New York City to Florida. And while we talked about it being difficult for him, it's definitely been hard as well on me. So about a month ago, my cancer ass woke up in a major funk. I felt lonely and I needed to release these feelings in forms of tears. Ethan walked in on me crying and looked at me and walked out of the room. I'm sure he was just like, what the fuck? But throughout the day, after I had calmed down, of course, my baby did not leave my side. He usually stays in whatever room I'm not in. So if I'm in the living room watching TV, he's laying in his bed. Or if I'm in the kitchen, he's on the couch that's furthest away from me. Because when I tell you I be bothering him. But that day, he was giving me all the cuddles whenever I asked for them, and he would either have his arm or leg on me at all times to show me that he was there for me. I'm tearing up just thinking about it, because this was a form of communication for him that day. He won't verbally tell me, "Mommy, it's going to be okay," but physically, he showed me it was. I myself am a needy mom. I am always telling Ethan how much I love him and making him say it back to me in return. Randomly, I'll walk up to him and ask him for a hug, which we count to at least 5 so he can give me a proper hug, or a kiss to show him that there is and always will be love in this household. For a long time, I really didn't speak to Ethan though. Conversations always seemed like a two-way street for me. So with time, I had to learn that it is okay to just talk. I would talk out loud. You always talk out loud. I would just say what I was doing out loud. like mommy is cleaning the kitchen, mommy is taking a dish from the table to the sink, just so Ethan could get used to this form of communication and he can understand the actions with the words. I don't always force Ethan to use his words, which I am working on, but our way of communication is so intuitive, it's kind of scary. I can literally tell Ethan's moods from his movements or grunts. I can predict a meltdown by the way he gets off his bed or walks around the room. Communication isn't just verbal, and as a mom with a child on the spectrum, you can pick up on these things rather quickly just by paying attention. Some tips I would give when it comes to communication are: be patient. It takes a child with autism longer to process information. You may need to slow down your conversation to their speed. Long pauses can be helpful. Even if you're not sure if they are comprehending, just keep at it. It's good for your child to hear your voice. Interact through physical activity. Childs on the spectrum tend to have short attention spans. This is especially true when it comes to communicating. So, running around and playing outside may be a better way of sharing them together. Singing and dancing also helps Ethan with his attention span. Also, learn from your child. Your child's special needs and abilities may show you a way to look at the world that you never considered. As difficult as it might be on some days, relaxing, laughing, and enjoying the unique gift that is your child can provide both you and your family with many rewards. Remember, every child is different, on the spectrum or not. It's not easy to always figure them out, but so rewarding when you do. All children want to feel love, support, and safety at the end of the day. Just remain calm and patient. And as always, remember,
bitch, you doing a good job. Bitch, you doing a good job. Bitch, you doing a good job. Bitch, you doing a good job.